Okay, so last time we talked about angle relationships with a transversal, and today we're going to talk about, what are we talking about? Parallel lines, proving lines are parallel based on angle measurements. So, I hit the wrong button, sorry guys. Don't be overwhelmed. It's not as bad as it looks. So, let's talk about what are parallel lines, okay? So parallel lines are two or more lines that never touch each other, right? And we know that. They're lines that have the same slope. You learned that in algebra. And in geometry, you can prove it by the relationship between those angles we talked about last time, corresponding, same side interior, alternate interior, all those things, based on those relationships. So first, let's just really understand parallel lines. They never cross each other. And I'm going to draw two lines. One is A and one is B. So now on your notes, I want you guys to draw two parallel lines and label one M and the other one N. Okay? What kind of angles are in the picture to the right? Corresponding. Those are corresponding angles. Look at angle 1 and angle 2. Okay? They're on the same side of the transversal and they're in matching places. So this is in the top left corner, this is in the top left corner. Are they congruent or supplementary? Well, looking at them, do you remember? Do you know? What does it look like? Or not remember, do you know? They are congruent. They look congruent. And the reason they're congruent is because A and B are parallel. So here's the rule. If A and B are parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent. It goes the other way too. If two lines are cut by a transversal so that corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. I can say it both ways. So I can say the conditional, right? If A is parallel to B, then corresponding angles are congruent. And I can also say the converse. If two lines are cut by a transversal so that the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Oh, this is what we did in Unit 2. So if this is my conditional statement, if corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are also parallel. So let's say the converse. If A is parallel to B, the lines are parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? So it's all coming together. What you've learned in the past is now coming together here. So looking at this, I'm going to move this up here. We're going to name a pair of corresponding angles. I'm going to say 1 and 5 because 1 is in the top left, 5 is in the top left. They're in matching positions, okay? So I know they're corresponding angles, okay? And I know that L and M are parallel. So if angle 5 is 102, how much is angle 1 going to be? 102. If the lines are parallel, corresponding angles are congruent. If the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Okay? So if angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles that are congruent, which two lines are parallel? L and M. I should have changed that. Okay, so we talked about corresponding angles. Now we're going to talk about alternate exterior angles. These are alternate exterior angles, 5 and 6. They're on opposite sides of the transversal, but they're on the outside of the box. They're not touching the hamburger. These angles congruent or supplementary? Well, they look like they're going to be congruent, and they are congruent. So if A and B are parallel, then my alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay? So I'm looking at this drawing, and I can say it both ways, right? I can say if two lines are cut by a transversal, that line that goes from top to bottom, so that the alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. But I can say the converse. I can say if A is parallel to B, then the alternate exterior angles are congruent. So I can say it, the conditional and the converse are both true. Okay? So now I'm going to name two pairs of alternate exterior angles. So they have to be on the outside and they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal. So 2 and 7, right? 2 is on the outside on the top right. 7 is on the bottom left. Okay? 1 and 8 are alternate exterior. If 1 and 8 are alternate exterior angles, which lines are parallel? L and M. Because If the angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. If the lines are parallel, then the angles are congruent. So if angle 7 is 63, how much is angle 2? Well, they're congruent, so it's going to be, 63. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. Okay. Alternate exterior angles, but it's interior that I drew. Sorry, I typed the wrong word. Cross this word off up here and put interior, not exterior. Alternate interior angles. That's what the drawing says right here. Okay? There's one on one side, one on the other side, and they're on the inside. They're both touching the hamburger. And they look like they're congruent because they are, and the same thing is true. If the angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. If A and B are parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? Same rule. If two lines are cut by a transversal, so alternate interior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Translating that, if 3 and 4 are congruent and they're alternate interior angles, then A and B are parallel. Okay? So I can say it either way. The angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. If the lines are parallel, then the alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? So I'm going to name a pair of alternate interior angles, and I did 3 and 6. If 3 and 6 are congruent alternate interior angles, which lines are parallel? L and M. So if the two lines are parallel, and I have alternate interior angles, if angle 6 is 51, how much is angle 3? 51. Stupid computer. It's 51, is it not? Oh, it didn't come in. Anyway, dagnabbit. Right, 51, right there. Okay. Next, same side interior angles. So we've talked about corresponding angles, and we've talked about alternate angles. Now we're going to talk about same side angles. Okay, these are same side angles. They are same side interior angles because they are on the inside, they're touching the hamburger, and on the same side of the transversal. These do not look congruent because they're not. They are supplementary. So corresponding angles and interior pairs are congruent. Same side pairs are supplementary. What does that mean? It adds up to 180. Okay, so if A is parallel to B, same side interior angles are congruent. You can say it the other way. If two lines are cut by a transversal, the same side interior angles are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. So it goes both ways, right? So this one right here, sorry, I'm pointing to my computer screen because you can see what I'm doing. Same side interior angles are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. Converse is true. If the lines are parallel, then same side interior angles are supplementary. So I'm going to name a pair, 3 and 5. These are interior angles. They're on the same side of my transversal. Okay? So if angle 3 is 50 and angle 5 is 130, are the lines parallel? Yes, they are, because 50, whoops-a-daisy, I didn't do that slide at all, did I? What happened? Did I not finish this? Let's keep going and see what happens. 50 plus 130 is 180. So write yes here on number 11. You're going to write down the word yes. Oh, I wanted you guys to do this next one. Okay, so when are same side interior angles supplementary, right? So I said the if part, if same side interior angles are supplementary, what has to be true? So you're going to write the second part of my statement here on the bottom. You're filling this in, number 11 and 12. Okay. So now we're going to look at same side exterior angles. Okay, they're same side, they're on the same side of the transversal, and they're outside the box, right? They're not touching the hamburger, so they're same side exterior, and they're also supplementary. So corresponding angles and alternate angles are congruent. Same side angles are supplementary. They add up to 180. Okay, so if they do add up to 180, then the lines are parallel. If the lines are parallel, then same side interior angles are supplementary. Okay. If two lines are cut by a transversal so that the same side exterior angles are supplementary because same side adds up to 180, then the lines are parallel. And now I'm going to say it backwards. If A and B are parallel, then same side exterior angles are supplementary. So I can say the conditional, same side exterior angles are supplementary, then the lines are parallel, and I can say the converse. If A is parallel to B, then same side exterior angles are supplementary. Okay, so I'm going to name a pair. I've got angle 2 and angle 8. They're on the same side of the transversal. If angle, gosh, dag nabbit, if angle 2 is equal to 5 and angle 8 is equal to 130 degrees, are the two lines parallel? Well, not 5, 50. 50 plus 130 is what? 180. Which two lines are parallel? Well, I don't know. Let's look at that drawing. If angle 2 and angle 8 are supplementary, they're same side exterior angles, then the two lines are parallel. Okay? When are same side exterior angles supplementary? You need to write this down. So I said this statement, same side exterior angles are supplementary, then what is true? What do you write down here? What else is true? Okay. So let's review what kind of angles are these, okay? I've got an angle here, they're both on the same side and they're both matching spots, so they're corresponding. You tell me why they're corresponding on your notes, and I'll check it off, or Ms. Cintron will check it off. These are alternate exterior, because why? How do I know that? How do I know that they're alternate exterior angles? These are alternate interior angles, because why? You need to tell me why. Where are they placed in the drawing? Okay? Now we're going to find the angle measurement. I'm going to show you some examples. Let me move this because you're going to need to do this. There we go. So if this angle is 60, these lines are parallel. How do I know that? Because they're marked as parallel. If they have those little arrows on them, then they're parallel. So if this one's 60, how much is this one? Well, let's ask ourselves. They're alternate, so they have to be congruent. Are they really alternate and have a relationship? Yes, they're both alternate exterior, right? One is on the top right and one is on the bottom left, so they are alternate exterior angles, so they are congruent, so they're going to be 60 degrees. Here I'm looking and I've got two parallel lines, so I know there's a relationship. They're on the same side, so chances are it's going to be 180. They're same side interior angles, so they're going to add up to 180, so 180 minus 68 is 112, okay? So, whoops-a-daisy. So now I want you guys, oh my goodness, Miss Barnett, you are a wild woman today. You are going to do, this one with the 82, what kind of that relationship? That's going way back to Unit 1, and this is a Unit 1 review as well, okay? So you tell me what these angles equal. You're going to fill them in on your notes. We'll check them out. And now we're going to go a little step further. We're going to look at algebra. So I'm looking at this same question though. Ask yourself, what kind of angles are these? Oh, these are alternate interior angles. So they are congruent. So one angle is equal to the other angle. So 13x minus 4 equals 100. X is equal to 8, but that's not what I'm asking. I am looking for x. So I want to check my answer. If I put 8, I keep pointing at my computer screen today. If I put 8 in, I will get 100 out, okay? What about this one? Are they alternate or same side? They're alternate, so you're going to do this. Are they congruent or do they add up to 180? What about this one? Weird. Oh, this is the last page. What about this one? These, what kind of angles are these? Are they congruent or do they add up to 180? Those are the questions you ask, and then write your equation. What about these two angles, x plus 139 and 50? Are they congruent or do you add up to 180? And if so, then you write your formula, right? Do you set them equal to each other or do you add them together to equal 180? Those are the only two options. You have two options, that's it. So all you need to do is figure it out, okay? Fill in your answers and then move on, and you've got 2 paired x with this one. 2. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon.